well since we last saw you. We've had a lovely cruise back from Banbury, stopping off at Fenny Compton and Napton, and weathering a storm for 2 days at Fenny Compton where we went nowhere, although we did manage to get a couple of walks. We've had some fantastic autumnal weather, however, between the rain, and now we're back at Napton Junction. But this time we're heading straight on down an interesting bit of canal which is shared between the Oxford and the Grand Union Canal. On our way to Braunston to find the Leicester line back home.
Hopefully we'll find somewhere to moor. Oh, that smells nice. I think it's bacon. Hello. Hiya. It's the entrance into the marina.
And here we are, moored up in Braunston, one of the hubs of the British canal system, because from here you can go to Leicester, the Trent and the north, London and the south, Rugby and the Midlands, or Warwick and Birmingham, as well as Reading and London via the Thames. So it really is a spaghetti junction of the canal network. So we're still in Braunston. It's the next day. We have looked around Braunston before, so we're not going to show you that again, but if you do want to see Braunston, check out Kinky Dark and Underground from last year's cruise. And in that video we have a good walk round Braunston and look at all its features. The reason we're here today, however, because we are rendezvousing with my brother Ian Stafford of the Sporting Club, who has no cash to pay for his taxi, so I may have to help him out.
Can't go anywhere without being clapped, hey? Mind the moth.
I know.
He's been here so long, he actually was a caterpillar when he arrived.
Oh, very good.
Yeah?
And we're off through bridge number 1, the Grand Union Canal, up towards the Braunston Locks.
Well, good morning everybody. Here we are, cruising through the canals of Northamptonshire, Warwickshire, Leicestershire, the heart of England. And I'm boatswain's mate today, behind Captain Stafford in his cap, and we're going that way. And so far, so good. But who knows what's around the corner? An iceberg, a larger boat. Maybe he'll let me steer today if I'm a good boy. No, apparently not. No.
Maybe.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that.
I think we're going to. You're not steering through the tunnel.
I'm not steering through the tunnel, apparently. Okay. All right. Well, whatever. But anyway, yes. Very nice. Morning.
Morning.
Just got you with your mouth full then, eh?
Won't be the first time.
Oh. Only we heard that.
Just waiting for Braunston bottom lock. Unfortunately, quite a few boats went off in front of us, so 2 have just gone up into the first lock. So this is where we had a drink last night and the night before. Very nice.
So here we are, 3 locks up, everything's come to a stop. Broken collar on the gate on the lock after that one, so you can't close the gate, so you can't use the lock, so we're all sat here waiting for the CRT. Bit disappointing for Ian, who was looking forward to a bit more of a cruise, and as he just pointed out, has spent about 5 minutes actually on the boat and about an hour walking up the lock flight, opening and closing gates. But anyway, it is what it is, so we'll just stay here in this boat jam. And here's the offending gate, and you can see it's lurched forwards, and that metal band that should be holding the gate in place, called the collar, has snapped good and proper. So until that's replaced, no one's going anywhere. And there's a line of 246, and round the corner 8 boats, all sitting around having a coffee, which is about all you can do. No point getting stressed, that's boating. And I think we'll do the same.
Well, things are moving. The 2 boats that were stuck at the bottom of this lock have now moved off. They're over there. These 2 boats have just come down lock number 5 that's broken. We can only use 1 gate. So now there's 2 boats going up there now. Then these boats will come down, and then we'll go up. So it's all happening now. Right, here they come. Out the lock, and then it'll be our turn. Pete's going now.
What? Thank you for the
off
voyage.
now. Sorry it was curtailed.
Always a drama.
Have a good trip back.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye. There he goes, off to the Admiral Nelson to get a taxi. 2 boats going down in the lock we've just left, coming up. 2 more boats going up. This is the lock that the 1 gate's broken. So we just have to both go into 1 gate. Then there'll be 1 more lock and that'll be it. It's an area H is coming in, our lock buddy. We are at the top lock. 6 locks done in 6 hours. Must be a record. And we're off from the top of the Braunston locks, and now we're going into Braunston Tunnel. It's taken us over 6 hours to get from the bottom with that 3-hour stop, but anyway, it's all good fun. Part of the joys of canal boating. And already there's a boat coming the other way.
Dreammaker moored just on the other side of Braunston Tunnel in this lovely wooded cutting with a pretty good towpath and Arnco. And the reason we've moored here, apart from the fact that it's been a pretty long day sat at those locks, is that there is a walk back over the tunnel which the horses used to take, because the tunnel of course has no towpath, and we did that about 14 years ago back to the Admiral Nelson. We fancy doing that again and taking you along with us. So let's go. So most tunnels, and Braunston is no exception, were not built with a towpath. So what happened to the horses that pulled the boats? Well, they had to be led over the top of the tunnel along a footpath which we're now going to follow. And teams of leggers would lie on the tops of the boats and literally push the boats through with their feet. So this is a different way of experiencing Braunston Tunnel, and I would suggest a more pleasant one. So here we are on this green space, literally a couple of minutes from the canal, on the outskirts of Daventry. So again, an illusion of rural isolation. So we're not actually on the original horse's path because they decided to build a load of houses over it, so it's now a construction site. But there's one of the tunnel air shafts, which obviously provides some ventilation as you're going along underneath, and also a lot of dripping water. And now, after that brief diversion, we are back on the original horse's path over Braunston Tunnel. Here we are, a close-up of another air shaft. Funny to think that there are boats going along underneath our feet as we walk over this lovely countryside. And here we are at the other portal near the locks that we spent several hours moored at earlier today, which means we're only 3 locks away from the Admiral Nelson. The Admiral Nelson by Lock 3. Let's pay it one last visit. Well, here we are, back at the Admiral Nelson after an eventful day. It was lovely to see Ian. We didn't really film much of yesterday, but we had a nice time. We went to the boathouse and we had an okay meal. Not the best pub meal you've ever had, but it was passable. But the most important thing, certainly from Ian's point of view, is we had it in front of a big TV which showed the rugby. And as an ex-rugby correspondent to the Independent, he is into his rugby. Then back to the boat for a few drinks to watch the second half. Comfortable night, and then that stranded episode up the locks. But we did get in a nice lunch of pie, potatoes and veg. So we sent him on his way with a full belly, and at least we've achieved our objective. We're through the tunnel and we've had a nice little walk over the top for a final pint at this lovely pub. So until tomorrow, cheers. Well, good morning from a rather magical cutting with the sun streaming down through the trees. We're going to head that way and then up the Leicester line with the destination in mind of Crick, making the best of what promises to be a fine day. But I thought we'd just enjoy this slight peaceful moment before the busyness of the day commences.
We're off. It's a shame to leave this lovely place with all these beautiful trees, birds singing and the sun glinting through the leaves. But we've got 9 locks to do and a tunnel. We better get going. Just coming up to Norton Junction, so we'd go straight on if we were going to London, but we're going to turn left. Gorgeous cottage. This is where we moored last year. So it's been discovered by other people. Carries the West Coast Main Line.
And here we are at the beginning of Watford locks. 2 conventional locks, then a staircase with side ponds, a bit like Foxton, and then 1 more conventional lock. Narrow locks, which is a bit of an anomaly due to history. So the canal from Leicester is broad The plan was to go on to Market Harbour and then to Northampton, but that never happened. And so I guess they built this bit to connect up to the Grand Union, but they built it to narrow gauge proportions, maybe because it's more of a B road than an A road, such as the Grand Union itself. So we came down the Leicester line in May 2022, and we went down Watford locks. So if you want to go back and look at those videos, you can see what this canal looks like in spring when all the blossom is out. But in that video I did explain about Watford locks, which are like a smaller version of Foxton locks. They are a staircase, which means, if you remember, the bottom gate of one lock forms the top gate of the next one, and they're a staircase with side ponds, which means that you have separate paddles to empty the locks into the side ponds and fill the locks from the side ponds, and that means that more than one boat can go up the staircase at once. It's an ingenious mechanism. All you've got to remember when you're doing the locks is to do the red paddle before the white paddle. Red before white and you'll be all right. But there's a lockie on duty, so I'm sure he'll make sure I don't do anything wrong.
Right, we're in the bottom of the staircase. 4 of these. There you go again. Red before white, you'll be alright.
Right, so I'm going to open the red paddle, which will fill the lock from the side pond. I open this white paddle, which will empty that lock into the side pond. And there's the water going out of the lock into the side pond. So when the bottom lock has filled from the side pond, the top lock has emptied from the side pond, we can open the gates and go into the next lock. And then the process is repeated and repeated all the way up the flight.
The top of the staircase now. It's 4. We did 2 at the bottom and we got 1 at the top, which is 7. I thought there were 9, so it's a bonus.
And there's Dreammaker just coming into top lock, which is a conventional lock. So we've done the staircase of 4 with the side ponds. This is a normal lock, just like any other lock. And these kind chaps got it ready for us so we could go straight in.
Boats at the moment. It's a nice straight tunnel. It's very wet. This is Crick Wharf Marina, this side.
Moored up at Crick, outside the big marina where they have the show, similarly to where we moored up last year on our way down the Leicester line. Lovely mooring, and I think we'll stop here because it's lunchtime. Well, here we are, back at the boat on this nice little mooring at Crick. We've had a busy old day. We've filled up with water, the toilet's empty, we've been shopping, the fridge is stocked, and now I think it's time to settle in as evening falls. Do hope you've liked this trip up from Braunston back onto our old stamping ground, the Leicester line? If you have, please like, comment and subscribe, and I look forward to joining you on the next one as we head up the Leicester line, ultimately back to Pillings.